All right, Brother Johnny, the 19 report, Manning, South Carolina. Sincerely thanking everyone for tuning in. If you're tuning in this late, wait a minute, let me get my hat. I don't, hold on, put my hat on, man. Get that. You know what I mean? Cocking it to the side like that right there. That's my Bob Marley right there. I, first of all, want to pray to Allah for forgiveness from the ancestors for forgetting Juneteenth. Shouts out to you know who it is on Facebook for posting it up. I certainly appreciate it. Sometimes you forget things, you go through things so many times by yourself, and you don't have anyone to kind of remind you of things that you should remember. So I didn't remember, and I apologize for that, and I apologize to our ancestors for that, and pray that the spirit of their struggle and their sacrifices will continue and remain in this country and be a sign and a signature of our struggle, and so that our children can remember what we went through and why they should try and do better every day because of the blood and sacrifice of our ancestors. I want to uh, really give praises to Almighty God, Allah. If you call him Jesus, whatever name you call him, that's fine. But today in history is Juneteenth, and I'm reading off a monitor. Juneteenth is the oldest known celebration commemorating the ending of slavery in the United States. Now, all over the world today, they're celebrating this day. Even President-elect Donald Trump. I want to read something that he posted up today, but dating back to 1865. It was on June 19th, our number. We stand on the number 19, directly on the square, trying to learn the truth of ourselves, the truth about God and universe. And I'll almost let this day slip past me. So I really thank Mr. Muhammad for posting it, and I thank Mr. York for reposting it so that I could have caught it before 12 o'clock. We're celebrating the Juneteenth. That is the emancipation or the beginning of the freedom of black people, black slaves in this country. Of course, we know it continued on beyond that, but that is the day recognized. Dating back to 1865, it was on June 19th that the Union soldiers, led by Major General Gordon Granger, landed at Galveston, Texas, with news that the war had ended and that the enslaved were now free. Now, if you know about Frederick Douglass and all of those who fought on the side of the Union Army in hopes that their sacrifice would gain us our freedom, and also to the great Harriet Tubman, the Underground Railroad, all of those, Denmark Vesey, Harriet, Gabriel Prosser, all of the soldiers, Dessalines, all of these people that put forth major effort to see to it that we are now able to drive all the fancy cars, make all of this fiat paper money, and do all of those crazy, smoke all the weed we want, just whatever we want to do now. We emancipated because of what happened to our people. And I want to recognize that. Note that this was 2.5 years after President Lincoln's Emancipation and Proclamation. Now, many people think that the Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves, but that's something that Lincoln didn't want to do. And when they did it, what President Lincoln wanted was for us to separate in a part of this land for ourselves, separate from white people. But our handkerchief head Negro leadership said, no, massa, we want to stay with you. And if we can't stay with you, we don't want to be emancipated. And this is the type of thing that happened. So 2 years after President Lincoln emancipated proclamation, which has become officially January 1st, 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation had little impact on the Texans due to the minimal number of Union troops to enforce the new executive order. However, when the surrounding of General Lee in April of 1865 and the arrival of General Granger's regiment, the forces were finally strong enough to influence and overcome the resistance. Again, the Emancipation Proclamation and even Juneteenth was just the beginning of the freeing of the slave. All of it was done for territory. It was done to give bigger numbers in order to make more money, to have more people to fight. And even till this day, our black boys and black girls are the majority of the military, ready to fight for quote unquote freedom. And that freedom began with our people fighting in the Union Army. Now, later attempts to explain the 2.5 year delay in the receipt of this important news have yielded several versions that have been handed down through the years. But today, we are celebrating I got on my Bob Marley hat. I got on my red, black, and green chain. I'm throwing up my black power fist like I do because I am praying that Allah will forgive me. I knew something was a little off today. Today is the day that our people were emancipated, especially in Texas, where you got your big houses and stuff. Now we don't even know what our people went through. We don't even care what our people went through to get to this point, and that is why we will never be successful as the Caucasians, because we never put forth the effort to appreciate what God allowed to happen on Juneteenth, 1865. That is June 19th, 1865. I want to read something else for you if it'll come up. Wow, that's something. It says, look at this. This is embarrassing to me. Juneteenth. I wish I could get that up on the screen, but I don't think I can. But it says Juneteenth in the Rolling Stone magazine. Rolling Stone has recognized Juneteenth. It says Juneteenth, Trump sends warmest greetings to mark end of U.S. slavery. Now, Juneteenth, the oldest known celebration commemorating the ending of slavery in the United States, fell on Monday this year, and social media lit up with tributes to the historic day. On June 19th, 1865, as I read before, the Union Army had enough troops to fight, and 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, the freedom that was guaranteed in the Emancipation Proclamation begin to trickle down to our people. Now, I want to say this. Today is our day, black people. Even the black crackers, even the black niggas, the white niggas and black crackers, this is our day. You understand what I'm saying? That we should celebrate what our ancestors went through. For white folks, you should celebrate it because you making millions and billions of dollars off of our freedom because we were freed physically but ignorant mentally, so we still giving you our money. For black folks, you should be aware of the fact that today is our independence. You're preparing for July the 4th, as Brother Muhammad said, and the independence of America from the colonies, from England, but you don't think about our independence, which came about in 1865. Today is the day we should be popping fireworks, one of them. Today is the day we should be cooking out and have our children around the campfires, teaching them about slavery, about the murder and the kidnapping and rape and brainwashing of black people. Today is the day. And I apologize to my ancestors, to the spirit that I feel from them, the struggle, the pain, the hurt. And I pray Almighty God's mercy for almost forgetting this day. So I got my Bob Marley hat on, symbolizing the struggle. I got my red, black, and green on, symbolizing the struggle. It is Juneteenth, and no matter what anybody says, if you work for white folks, if you get your money from white folks, it doesn't matter. We struggled. We fought. We bled. We died. We survived. We made it from nothing, and now we got the best of everything because of our people. Now, if this does not come out clear, I will repost it. I'm trying to record it. But man, we should have really been having a cookout today and a celebration today and have our children in their red, black, and green and have our children in their struggle uniforms, man. Soldiers learning about their people. The only people that don't teach about their people are black people. And this is my problem when we get a little bit of money in our pockets. We begin to make excuses for the struggle, but the struggle is real, always will be real. I will always fight it because that struggle is in my soul. And I'll fight it alone, but I would rather us do it together. Today, we should have been celebrating, but since we didn't, we should celebrate another time. Even if it's July the 4th, we should be saying Juneteenth, 1865. And telling, as a matter of fact, I'm going to make me a shirt, and I'm going to sport my shirt by God's permission, commemorating the struggle of our people, especially in Texas. And for all of those soldiers that have died, getting gunned down by police officers, because you know the police officers were really slave patrol then. They were slave patrol. Their job was to terrify slaves, murder, rape, whatever was necessary. And I know we get afraid of this kind of talk, but listen to what I'm telling you. What's going to happen in this world is going to happen anyway. It's already written. Already written. It's going to happen anyway. And if you don't talk about it, if you deny it, then your and my children will suffer for it. This is Brother Johnny, the 19 report, Manning, South Carolina. Shouts out to Mr. York for reposting this. Shouts out to Mr. Muhammad. Again, I apologize sincerely from my soul to the ancestors for their struggle. I can visualize right now, the branding of my people, the mutilations of my people, the rapes of my people, and something that most people don't know, that in order to make a stud for the field, sometimes when the son grew up, the son was his head was covered, and he was forced to sleep with his own mother in order to produce a strong child that could go out into the fields. This is what we suffered through. This is Juneteenth. So black power to my black people, black power to my white people, and I would even go so far as to say white power to white people, because if we can get out of their power and build our own power, then we can be powerful together because we'll have genuine respect for each other. Juneteenth, tell your family about it. Tell your friends about it. Tell them about this broadcast. Brother Johnny, I love it every day. My spirit feels good right now. And today, as I read, there are 130 new hate groups in America, according to the Hate Crime Watch Group. So they are mobilizing to produce hate. They are mobilizing for that purpose, to make America great again. But when was it great for us? If they want to make it great again, and we were in slavery when they were great, wouldn't we have to go back into slavery to make it great again? Are we going to be able to keep the things that we fought, bled, and died for if they're going to make it great again? Their mindset is to put fear back into us and make us capitulate back to that same PTSD, post-traumatic slavery disorder that we were in. Now, for all you in the churches praying, this is what you should be praying for: equality in mind, equality in thought, equality in actions. And if that's not happening, and all you can tell your people is to pray to Jesus Christ, then you're off the mark, way off the mark. And you should shut your mouth, sit down, and study something of value to teach your children, because everything of greatness cannot be white. Johnny, Groove 19 Promotions, the 19 Report, Manning, South Carolina. I will repost this up, man. Shouts out. Love to my people. I love black people. I love to see black people succeed. There's nothing wrong with that. I cannot be a racist because I don't have the power to stop anyone from doing anything. I'm talking now on Facebook that does not belong to me. They can stop me, but I can't stop them. This is not racist, but if I'm playing the piano, then you can call me a pianist because I love the piano. If I play the violin, you can call me a violinist because I love the violin. And if I love my people and I am of a certain race, then I am a racist in that regard, and that is what it is. Love everybody. Peace and soul. Don Cornelius on you, black man. I love you. I love black people. I love the struggle, and I am grateful to God for the struggle of our people. One.